Hi, welcome in. Thanks for showing up to the video. As you can see in the video description down below, I am painting Knuckles from Sonic. My kid had a little figurine and I decided to paint it. So thank you for tuning in. Let's get in with the intro. Okay, if you clicked on the video, you wanted to see my process in which I painted this Knuckles and how I did it. Well, let's see. It's no secret. I didn't use anything special. This was just merely me sitting down and painting just so I could help with my brush strokes and how to work with these types of models themselves. Really, figures, they're more figures because they're made out of plaster. And with plaster, there's less, let's say, you can make less mistakes, right? Once you put that paint in, that plaster absorbs that paint and there's no longer going back. And in order to cover that paint back up, you have to apply layers upon layers of paint back into the model to try to cover it up. So it didn't turn out the greatest, but I think I did pretty well for what I had and the supplies, and just using some generic brushes, just practicing my brush strokes were mainly what was going on so I could end up working on my Blood Angels. I did this right before I started my Blood Angels videos, got the Blood Angel videos out, and then now I have a little spare time to try to piece together this video. So I'm just going to throw up the process in which I did this, which I painted with a little voiceover for you guys, and you guys can listen to how I worked on my process in doing this. Okay, I started out with a quick red base coat. My son already painted a little bit on him. I went in with a thin layer and just kind of started going in and adding layers upon layers. I would layer it, let it dry, layer it, let it dry, and I went through and just added layers of red. So you guys are going to get to watch the whole process of me just layering this on and going in with a big red and just layering it. Then after laying all that red down, I had to go in and make some edits to the brush and kind of cut some of these tips off. Then after editing the brush, I went through with a white and started painting his gloves on some of the areas that I got red on. And as I said, it's a plaster model, so when you get red on a spot that you're not supposed to, it's kind of hard to cover up. You have to use many layers, especially when it's an opaque color like red for a white. Then after that, I added a purple to the wet palette and started into filling in his eyes around his pupils to accentuate those eyes, because those are the color of his pupils. Okay, after that, I went through with the yellow and added that to the palette to use on his shoes, the sides of his shoes, because that's where it needed to be yellow. Even though I had a bunch of mistakes to cover up, like I said, it takes a lot to cover up these mistakes. After I finished the side of the yellow shoes, I went through, added green to the palette, and started on the top parts of his shoes where there's needed to be green. Then after the green, I went through with a blue and added that in between his legs to add more of a contrast with the red. Okay, after the blue, I added a silver to the palette to use on the bottom of his shoes and his soles to fill out the silver. Okay, so this is kind of towards the end of the video. This is kind of the outro, and I didn't actually record this part to the video, so I'm just going to kind of show you on camera. I don't know if you guys can see him, but here he is in the model, right? The green you're not going to see because of the green screen in the back, but I ended up going through and adding some black to the creases of his folds to kind of give that shadowy look. If you can see it on him right here, he's got kind of some black towards him that gives him shape, right? It's kind of like panel lining and adding details to the shadows so the colors just don't completely look flat. If you look towards more the end of the video, you could see that the colors are more flat and there's no really kind of depth to them. So when I added black around certain areas, it added that depth to it, and it looks wonderful. It looks better than it did, right? And it's not the greatest model. There's a lot of mistakes that were made with brush control and learning how to use my forefinger here to kind of place on the model while holding the brush. I am left-handed. This is my left hand, right? So, but yeah, that's basically how I went about it. It is a great exercise. I would consider these kind of like warm-up exercises. When you're drawing, you kind of want to do warm-up exercises before you go straight into drawing. You want to give your time you want to give yourself some space to be creative, right? And this is a reason to be creative. They're models that my kids have. I can paint them up for them. They can look good. They can give them to them. They can do whatever they want with them. And it gives me skill and repetition to get the reps in to have brush control and make myself better as a painter, artist in general, and all that stuff. So if you guys did find this video informational, I don't think you would, because there wasn't much information to it. There's not really much to it. It's just me sitting down and painting and showing that you need a different type of medium or a different kind of process or maybe a different material to work with, and how you would approach it and use different aspects in your painting and different lifestyle. You can't just, I don't feel like you're going to get much growth out of painting just Space Marines right in a row. Space Marines, Space Marines, Space Marines. You do get the reps in, but you're not allowing your mind to actually use space in it, letting your mind free to go about and doing things. All right, so where I left off was explaining all that, but if you guys could do me a favor and you did find this video enlightening, or you did like it and you liked the freedom and the thing to do things, please leave a like and a comment and subscribe. I need some more subscribers. It helps out a ton with the channel. It helps me reach my goal. If I could get 50 subscribers by the end of February, it would be a big help, big help. And it's all coming upon you guys. And I try my best with my videos and all that stuff. And they're not the best quality and they're not the best scripted, but I do my best. And like I said, it's all about repetitions. Not only am I getting repetitions from the Sonic models, I'm also getting repetitions with my editing, my speech, and just in general, scripting in general. I need to actually sit down and write out scripts that would be more intuitive and very fulfilling, but I feel I do a lot better off the cuff. Just my personal preference, so it's really hard to sit down and write scripts just in general. But I'll cover that more in the Friday video when I'm talking about things. Hopefully I remember to put that down in the video. But as I stated, let me finish off this video. If you did like the video, like and subscribe. It always helps. I appreciate you guys for being here. And remember, keep painting.